It's the next chapter of the real-life crown, and the world will be watching. The first coronation in 71 years will mark Harry's first face-to-face with his father, King Charles, since his scorching book came out. And while Meghan stays home for Archie's 4th birthday in sunny California, Harry may get the cold shoulder from a family that resents him for relinquishing his royalty. So he's not going to be in the official procession for the coronation, and not on the balcony,
because they are no longer working members of the royal family.
All new details today from Charlie Lankston of thedailymail.com, which reports there will be another notable absence. The site says Charles did not invite his brother Andy's ex, Sarah Ferguson. I spoke to Fergie before the invites went out.
I don't know if I'm going to be there because, you know, who wants me around?
I do. There will be a massive coronation celebration concert, but booking it was not a royal flush.
Adele, Ed Sheeran, and the Spice Girls were all approached and offered the opportunity to take part. They all said no. However, they do have a few other acts. They've got Lionel Richie, Bette Midler, and a very popular British band called Take That.
In fact, expect a little less overall pomp under the world economic circumstance. Only a few days of events. Did they scale back here?
King Charles wants to have a much more reined-in monarchy. He knows that the image of the royal family as being opulent is not doing anything for its reputation, so he's scaled back on every level. It's still going to be a massive event across the UK. 2,000 people will be attending the coronation service. Believe it or not, that is actually a small number. I think 7,000 odd people attended the Queen's.
Do you think somewhere in the back of his mind he knows he's not as popular as his mom, and he needs to not go too big?
I think he understood very much that he needed to put in a lot of work to gain the respect and the admiration of the British public and indeed of the rest of the world. But he's also always been someone who values environmentalism, who values charity projects, and he's never been someone who's splashy and overspending, which is a bit ironic because he does have something of a reputation within the royal family for being a bit of a snob.
Speaking of, there are 0 emissions on the golden carriage carrying the king and the queen on the way to the coronation. This thing is a real beauty, a Cinderella-esque beauty.
Many people will recognize it from the queen traveling in it on rare occasions. Inside, it's an antique. Every monarch who has traveled in it has complained about how uncomfortable the ride has been. Charles and Camilla are in for a pretty bumpy ride, but it is, of course, tradition. And as you know, when it comes to the royal pomp and circumstance, tradition is a huge part of that.